It's June 20th, and I'm out scouting for next weekend's orchid workshop. So far, I've made one stop. I've found 4 orchids today. We found Hooker's orchids, pinks, a spotted Coralroot, and a rattlesnake plantain, and I think it was probably the checkered variety. The rattlesnake plantain I saw because as I was walking along the trail, I saw a seed pod, and upon looking down below where the seed pods from last year were, I could see some immature leaves there. They'll bloom in the middle of July, and when they are in bloom, I'll come back and do an episode specifically on the rattlesnake plantains. Hopefully I'll be able to find examples of both lesser and checkered for that presentation. But today we're going to highlight the spotted Coralroot. Again, it's June 20th. They're just starting to open up. I have one plant here that has several open flowers on it. I have several stalks that have buds, but they haven't opened up yet. So they should be in really good shape for my workshop in 5 days. So again, it's a Coralroot. It has a very distinctive red, thick stalk to it. It grows to the neighborhood of about 12 to 14 inches high. The stalk is thick and very noticeable. The flowers are very small but extremely beautiful. They're a white flower with purple spots on them, hence the name spotted Coralroot. They seem to come out in quantity every other year. This year, I see quite a few here. Some years there'll be 1 or 2 plants and that's about it. But this seems to be a good year for them. Normally, you'll see a few stragglers here and there along the way, but I've seen them in clumps many times of up to 12 to 15 stalks in one clump, which can make a pretty impressive display. We're in, again, the Boreal forest up here near Ely, and kind of a mix here. There's a lot of popple trees, some balsam trees. We're on a hillside on this one. This isn't where they always typically tend to be, but they are not a swamp plant. They are a highland plant, and they are one that tolerates a heavier soil than some of the ones we've been looking at lately. This happens to be a very clay-filled soil that we're in right now. If we were to go down at the bottom of this hill, there's a lot of mud spots because after a rain, those areas get wet and they stay wet for quite a while because of the propensity of clay in the soil. So a lot of the other ones we've seen lately have needed a sandy, well-drained soil. These grow in more of a wet, heavy soil. When you come across a patch of these, you have to be kind of careful because the tallest ones will rise just above where the existing foliage is, but a lot of them will be kind of hidden, especially the ones that have not opened up yet and are still expanding, getting taller. They'll be hidden underneath the leaves here, and there's so many of them around, they're hard to see, and you have a real danger of stepping on them and breaking stalks off. So when you're in an area where you see some of these, look carefully before you step, because there's going to be a lot more than you think there are to begin with. Right in this particular patch that I'm sitting in right now, in about a 6 by 8 foot area, I counted 24 stalks. And I'm sure I haven't gotten all of them. I'm sure there's a few here that I can't see, but that's a pretty good sized patch. So it's they're an absolutely beautiful flower. Once they come out, they'll be out again for a couple of weeks. Right now we're right at the beginning of what they're blooming at, so we should be able to see these till the first week of July. unless we get some really hot weather, and then that may turn them down from there. But at this point in time, I think that they're going to be visible for quite a while. So I hope you get a chance to get out and enjoy them. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and enjoy. It's still June 20th. I made a second stop today, in a little spot where I've seen some small bog orchids before, green bog orchids before, and I did find a couple of those. But a bonus, I think I found some Loesel's Twayblades. I found them very close to where I am today before, but in a little different situation. I don't know, this is kind of strange to me, but and these are a type of orchid that I haven't seen a lot. When I've seen them in the past, it's been later in the year than this, and they've been underneath, actually in the shade, under some of these little bunches of brush behind me here. What I see today is out in the open. They're smaller than what I remember them being before, which may be because it's a little early for them. But if that's what they are, that's a real bonus. So again, that makes 6 orchids today. Pretty good day for orchid hunting. So again, get out and explore. You never know what you're going to find, and enjoy. Thanks for watching. I've since gotten confirmation that this is indeed Loesel's Twayblade. If you look at the textbooks, it lists it as being common and widespread, but it is some very difficult to see at times. It's small. Many times it's underneath the brush, like I indicated before, and not very often seen. This is only the 3rd or 4th time that I've actually seen it, and it took me a little by surprise when I found it on this day of searching. It is sometimes called a fen orchid. It grows very similar to areas where the other green bog orchids grow, not in the deep wet swamp and not in the highland, but in that interland in between where the ground's a little bit mushy, but it's fairly solid. Again, likes to have filtered light, although the ones that I found the other day were actually in some very open territories. So Loesel's Twayblade, a real bonus on this day. Had a lot of fun with it, so glad I found it.